It's exactly 9:06. Thank you for being with us right from the hour of 6:30. We really appreciate every weekday. We are here from 6:30 with Good Morning Uganda, and thereafter an extension of Good Morning Uganda, which is Good Morning Uganda Extra. In case you have just joined, this is Robert Chirabonyonyitono, and I'm very eager, and I know much as you are, for the topic I'm going to be discussing with the guest I have in studios this morning. And that is the 6th annual Uganda United Arab Emirates Convention that is going to be running. That is from the 29th to the 30th, and that will be in Dubai. Now, so much has been said about Ugandans in the United Arab Emirates. We saw in August where the government came up and was very clear, saying, if you've overstayed, if you're here illegally, if you have issues with the documents, come back home. But there is an association that brings these people together. And this interests me to understand what this association is, what they stand for, or even what they are doing. And interesting, this comes at a time when they are going to be having their 6th annual conference. Now, joining me on set to discuss this is Zam Navidye, who happens to be a female representative of the Association of Ugandans in UAE. Zam, yes. Welcome home, and how have you been?
I'm very fine, thank you. How have you been?
Very fine.
I'm glad I'm home. It's different, it's beautiful, it's nice. If I would do it otherwise, I think I wouldn't be living home at all. Yes.
Okay, well, we all know we are all looking for greener pastures.
That's true.
Where they are, definitely.
Yes.
The world takes you there. But let's begin by understanding, when we talk about this association, so much is coming from the UAE.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you people have an association.
Yes.
So let's first understand give us more about this association and what it stands for, what it does.
Thank you so much. Like you said, I'm Zam Navi. I'm the female representative of the Association of Ugandans in the UAE. So the Association of Ugandans in the UAE is an association that brings Ugandans who are living in the UAE. Now, people try to get confused about this UAE thing. UAE is United Arab Emirates as a country, and it is in the Middle East. But UAE as a country has different emirates, or call them districts, whatever it is that you want to call them. There are 7 of them. So in UAE, we have Dubai, we have Abu Dhabi, we have Sharjah, we have Al Quwain, we have Ajman, we have Ras Al Khaimah, and lastly we have Fujairah. Now, these states are the ones which make up the UAE. So you may be having someone who is in Dubai, or someone who is in Sharjah, someone who is in Abu Dhabi. These are the people that the association brings together. And the association has leadership right from we have what we call the executive leadership. The executive leadership starts with our president, who is Abdul Bastin Subuga, and he heads the entire association. So we have leadership to the Secretary General, we have the Speaker, we have the Emirates leaders. Now, when it comes to the Emirates leaders, every emirate in the UAE, the 7 emirates that I've named, they have representatives who happen to be sitting on the executive committee. Now, back to their emirates, like back to each district, they have leadership of their own. So we make sure that this leadership goes down to the grassroots. Like, for example, if you talk of an emirate like Abu Dhabi, which happens to be the capital city of UAE, they have leadership who is Mr. Ismail Sebugwao. Now, Ismail Sebugwao sits on the executive of the Association of Ugandans in the UAE as the representative of Abu Dhabi. But then when he goes to Abu Dhabi, he has a leadership of his own. Like, he becomes the chairperson of Abu Dhabi. Then from the chairperson, he goes down. He has a committee of his own where he has his secretaries, he has his female representatives, he has his sports people. He has, like a full, complete committee. And the same thing happens with Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and everywhere else. Now, what we do, the main reason as to why the association was started is for unity. We were in a situation where we are Ugandans, we are here, but nothing is bringing us together. And it so happens that people tend to get desperate, people tend to feel alone, they happen to feel, not at home. We used to have a high number of suicide rates before, and the desperate cases. We used to have a lot of people in hospitals because of straight-rated issues, and so we said, all right, what is the best we can do? How about we try to make this home, much as it's not home, but this is where we are. How best can we do to feel more comfortable here than we are feeling at the moment? So we then decided to create the association, and a few people came together, not a few, a number of people came up, and they selected the leadership. They elected their leaders from the president, the executive, and, well, the rest is history. And this was 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. 7. 7 years ago, because this is the 6th annual convention. We started the conventions after the first year. So it is 7 years ago.
Now, that brings me to another question.
Yes.
Dubai, UAE, like, basically,
yes.
What does this association, apart from the unity or activities, do you carry out? Because I've followed a number of associations.
Yes.
And it is about, let's come together. We invite sometimes musicians from home.
Yes.
We drink, we party, we begin relationships, we do this. And sometimes I ask myself, but then really?
Honestly speaking, yes, Ugandans, not just the ones in the UAE. Ugandans everywhere, we are party animals. We love our fun, But when it comes to the Association of Ugandans in the UAE, actually, honestly speaking, I don't think we've ever, as the association, ever done an event which is entirely entertainment. No. The only event that we do which includes entertainment is the convention. Because being that it's the annual general one, what we do, it is Kasavu Kanyama kind of thing. We do entertainment amidst the conferences. And then in the evening, whereby now people who are in official, the suit guys have gone, in the evenings we tend to come up with activities that the community will be interested in. You will find Miss Uganda going, like for example, this year we are having Miss Uganda. Last year we had fashion show. And then we tend to bring in some entertainment. I think in 2019 we had John Black come. So what we do is, yes, we know we love the entertainment. And if you want to get a Ugandan, there is someone that I really love his music. I'm not locally, but I enjoy his music, Pastor Bugembe. He has a saying that if he wants to preach to people, even if he has to go to the bar to find them there, he will preach to them. And I think I agree with him in one way or another, because some people may not really be interested in coming to the church. But when you listen to his song, you're like, even if you don't have to pick the entire message, there is something that you stick with, So when it comes to us, like I'm just going to take you a little bit about the convention. We have objectives of the convention, and one of the biggest objective is the diaspora's welfare. The diaspora's welfare is one thing that we look at so critically, because it is the main reason as to why we started the association in the first time. Being that it is the main reason as to why we started the association, we take it as the first priority. Even when we are here and we're inviting people to come to attend the convention, we mainly concentrate on people who have services that benefit the Ugandans in the UAE. That means that what we're looking at most is how is a Ugandan, someone who is doing a cleaning job, someone who is doing a security guard job, someone who is in sales, how do they benefit from these conventions? Now, we may bring these services, and there is someone there who is like, me, I don't want to go to sit in the room and just listen. And then they hear that, we are going to have Ndere Troop performing. They're like, okay, now that is the reason as to why I should come. Now they end up listening to the message, even though their main purpose of coming was the performance of the Ndere. So yes, we are party lovers, but hey, we do all of them.
Okay, very interesting, fellow Ugandans, and of course we know actually almost now every family, or we have extended families in Uganda, at least you have someone in the United Arab Emirates. And when we hear issues of regarding welfare, I know parents, brothers, sisters are concerned.
Yes.
Now, much as we're still discussing, that is the 5th, that is a convention that is going to happen. Also, I cannot resist the temptation.
Yes, I know.
of going into the welfare of our people in the United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
what really, you're the people who are best there.
Yeah.
What really is happening? Because you are getting so much, you want to come home, we cannot come home. Some people have even begun taking advantage of this on the other side. Others are saying, you're not. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. What is really happening?
A lot is happening at the moment. A lot is happening. I will not sit here and tell people that nothing is happening. A lot is happening at the moment. And like I've already said, I've talked to people that we've met. We've spoken to ministers here. We've spoken to the president. We've spoken to the speakers of parliament. We've spoken to parliamentarians. We need something to be done. The thing is, since we here have not been quick enough to do it, people on the other side have decided to do it for us. I think it is this last month, if I'm not mistaken, it's either this month or last month. It started small by them telling us, any Ugandan who is now coming, you need to come with an Interpol letter. And then it's escalated. If you're coming to UAE and you're Ugandan, you need to have at least a balance of 5,000 dirhams. That's equivalent to 5 million on your account. Then it keeps on escalating. But why is it escalating? I think it was in August. A number of Africans, not just Ugandans, a number of Africans were on the streets everywhere. And that time it was really hot. So it kind of attracted attention from the community, bypassers, and they kind of started tweeting and talking about it. Now, when the government, the other side, saw it, they felt concerned because these are the people, they're in their country and the country is hot, so they wouldn't leave them on the streets. So everyone was put out of the street and they were kept in detention centers, and some of them were kept at deportation centers, and keeping them there as they prepare their documents for coming back. Because most of these people, they don't even have their documents on them. How they don't have
documents?
Exactly. That is also another long story. I don't know whether we have enough time, but here is the thing. We have been having issues where Ugandans come to the UAE without a proper means, you know, not in the right channels.
Yeah, I come as on a tourist visa, visiting visa.
Some even come on employment visa, surprisingly. And then they reach there and they cannot do their job, so they run out of their work of place and they end up on the streets. You know?
Thinking there is an opportunity all over. This is Dubai. There's opportunity everywhere.
And then some of them are being lied to by agents.
By agents. Or,
please
come,
what hurts me I can get you this.
These agents fleecing Ugandans are Ugandans.
Now you're speaking my language. I was talking to one of our, we have TV and YouTube channels that we follow in the UAE. And I was telling these people, the thing is, the only problem we are having, we don't love each other. It's the only problem we are having. You see, all these issues that are happening is because of lack of love. The only thing we need to do is to learn to love each other. If only we can fall in love with that. I mean, if I wake up in the morning and I take your son to the UAE and I drop them on the streets, it is because I don't have anything for you. I don't feel anything for you as a parent, first of all. Then I'm
like, for me, I'll hide you forever.
Before even we go to the child, your child that I've taken, but you as a parent. Now, just put yourself in a situation where the tables turn. It is now your son being taken by an agent. I've met some of these agents, and some of them are even old enough to be fathers of these same girls that they are taking to the UAE. You know, so we've been talking about these things. We've been trying to find a way of how this situation can be, you know, normalized. But some of them are not in our hands. We are just an association. There is little that we can do. We are calling upon people who are responsible for these things to please come up and do the needful. Otherwise, it is happening now. What is happening now in the UAE is that just getting a visa. It's hard. You know, I took my sister, my own sister. I went with her. I've been with her for like a month because usually I need someone who helps me around the house. And I tried to apply for a visa change for her to give her another 3 months visa. Just as I was sitting here, I received the message of rejection. They have rejected it. And they're not giving me any reason as to why they have rejected it. But now it is happening. Why it is happening is because we have failed to understand the basics of living. If 1,000 Ugandans were removed from the streets just 2 months ago, and we don't stop them from coming back to the UAE, then that means we are not doing what we are supposed to do. So what have they decided to do? To make the visas more strict than they were. I mean, UAE was one of the countries where we would go to freely without any issue. You just wake up in the morning, get a 3 months visa or a 1 month visa, and you're in the UAE. But now it's not happening. And then guess what? The association has to pick up the pieces. Because wherever these girls and boys come to the UAE, they get dropped by the agents, they get dropped, their bosses throw them out of the houses. Who is there? It's the Association of Ugandans in the UAE. And believe me, we are not being funded. So we end up getting money out of our own pockets. We have reached out to everyone out here who can help. And we are still reaching out to them. Instead of you coming here, going on TVs and radios, and start, let me not use rude words, but let me say making noise. Sorry if that is coming out wrong, but instead of coming here and yapping and shouting, our Ugandan girls are there, our boys are there, they're not doing anything. Do the goddamn right thing. Come up and say, okay, there is an association here. I've told you we've met majority of them. Come up and say, okay, we are sitting with the association. We want to know how we are going to help these people and which people really need the help. We will take you to these people who really need the help. Because coming here and talking about it and talking about it and talking about it is not going to change anything.
Let's also get this. We hear that after this amnesty or act of immunity that was carried out by the government, it sounds simple that these people just have to report to these immigration centers, then they are sorted, given paperwork, and come back home. But we aren't seeing them returning that way.
No, we are buying them tickets. That is it. A few people are being given tickets, but not all of them. A few tickets are being given out by the other side officers, but not all of them. If only we could wake up in the morning as Ugandans and be like, okay, we have how many MPs? Those are very many.
529.
Then let's say we have 529 tickets. Because honestly speaking, an MP can buy a ticket for a Ugandan. I mean, Uganda Airlines is giving us these tickets at around 820,000. The last time I checked when we were buying some tickets for these girls to come back. 820. You want to tell me a member of parliament cannot buy us that ticket? You want to tell me a minister cannot buy us a ticket? You want to tell me that the rich people we have here, the rich gang, the big people, anyone, even if it's me, even if it were you, and you're in a position of getting 820, do you have to come here and talk about it? Don't come on the camera and tell me that our Ugandan people are suffering. What have you done?
Now, as we continue, I'm also eager. How do we stop these people from going?
That is here.
Because this is one thing. Returning them is like you're putting water in a basket.
Exactly.
Is a temporary solution.
Indeed.
Because they'll still go. I want to tell you, we have so many people who have gone to the UAE and they are making good money. I have a young brother.
I'm one of them.
You're one of them.
I'm not here to brag, but I've been in the UAE for the last 7 years.
This is a guy who was an engineer. He just said, well, I don't know even how we got there. I must be honest.
It is a process. Now,
just walk out of me. Dubai. I'm like,
now this is what was happening. Initially it was easy because the number of people going there weren't as many as they are now. At this point, the numbers going there are so high. The jobs become less compared to the people who are looking for them. And remember, it's not only Ugandans. We have all these nationalities coming. Like I told you, when people were taken out of the streets, they were not only Ugandans. And then guess what? Most of these countries have taken back their people. But ours are still there. So here is the thing. As the Association of Ugandans in the UAE, we feel the pain because we see it. A girl calls me and she's like, Madam Zamo, mbadde nsaba kunyamba. Mbadde nkola mu nyumba naye mukama wange yankubye n'enjuli ku olukindo. Njagala kuddayo waka. Naye simanyi bwenzirayo kuba n'akatabo nkaleseeyo. Now you have to go through the process of getting this person an emergency travel document because they don't have a passport. And then after getting that, you have to make sure they get a ticket to come back home. There are situations you look at and you're like, now even if I don't have money, you need to go home, whether I like it or not, even if I have to get it out of my pocket. And every executive member, I'm just giving up to them. all of them. There is my brother in Russell Kaima Musa. I mean, then I have my sister in Abu Dhabi Winnie. These people, it's like their salary is used up just on these cases. Someone comes to you and you just cannot look the other side. You just cannot. But you asked me, how are we going to stop this?
Yes.
This has to start from here. First of all, it's very hard to tell someone, do not go to the UAE if you're not giving them an option. We need those options. We were in a situation where we had people who were supposed to come back here. We are telling these girls, please, let us take you back home, because it's better for you to be home than being here on the street. And the girl openly asked me, Madam Zam, ngende wakankole yochi. Wali yochi. Now the thing is, abana abasinga, when they come to the UAE, they sell themselves everything, like in order for them to come to the UAE. Now when they reach there and things fail, they feel like they cannot come back here. Now what are we doing to make it okay for them to come back here? Let us at least find training centers. Let us find these centers whereby if someone has gone through this rough patch, let us not just bring them back and dump them here. How are they going to integrate into society? These are the things that we are rooting for. Let us find ways of making our people feel like even if things don't work out anywhere there, it may not be necessarily the UAE, but let them be able to come back home and feel that they are home, because it is our home.
And what hurts, we have this mentality, once you leave. I ever gone for training in some country, it was just 2 years. But people, some of my friends, not family, but they knew you've gone abroad. And many thought, I think, you've gone to work. It is about study. You just get little for you to survive by then. But when you return, the expectations of the people back home traumatize you.
Indeed.
Psychological torture.
Yes. Now,
just
these are some of the reasons actually we do the conversions. When I talk about diaspora welfare being one of the reasons as to why we do the conversions, here is the thing. We are inviting people here who benefit a Ugandan who is in the UAE. So actually this year I'm very proud. I send my shout outs to our biggest sponsors. That's a Uganda Export Promotions Board and MTN Momo. They have done the biggest part of the sponsorship this year. We are having other people who have sponsored us. We have housing finance. We are inviting other banks to come on board. Some of them are coming as just exhibitors but not sponsors. And then we are inviting people who are into land, people who are into NSSF, we are inviting them. We need people who are having services that can benefit a Ugandan. Why? Because the expectation of someone here that you leave behind is way high that sometimes we cannot meet them. Now, what happens is, if I send home $1 million shillings and I tell my dad, Baba, esente domba ndi kusaba okozesa ekwe emitwalo gati asatu. Ondekere wensanvu dintere ku account ndakudagana. Baba idakulowooza ati yerendese eyo miliyoni oti 10 namuweereza ku ndala. Era kyajja okukola kid ninza okuyiranga nsigaliza we mitwalo 10 oba nganzira. Yankoba, you know what, I fell sick, I used this. Now, what we are trying to do as the association is to make sure that if a Ugandan is in the UAE and they're part of the association, we want to make sure that when they come back home, they're proud of themselves and they're proud of what they have done. Like you said, we have this part, the one that we've been at, where things are not moving good. People are struggling, they are suffering, they want to come back home. We are calling responsible people, please come, let us get our people back home. And then we have this other group where I fall. I'm a Ugandan. I'm in the UAE. I've lived in the UAE for the last 7 years. I started as a security guard. From security guard, I went into sales. From sales, I became an HR recruiter because I'm a HR by profession. So I tried as much as I could, and I got into my profession. So when I got it, I reached a point and I'm like, okay, I think I can do better than this. So Alhamdulillah, by God's grace, I started up a company which is called Shaika International Group, general trading and events management. So We have those people. I have a number of friends. I have Ashley, who is for Ashley Tours and Travel. We work with her as our PR, and she's the one organizing the last night for the Miss Uganda. Actually, she was around, and they were having a blast of inviting people to come and attend. Because the last night of the 30th, that is the Miss Uganda night, where we invite all the diaspora to come and be a part of this. And then I have a friend like Gavayo of Speed Express. We have Mida of BBH. These are Ugandans. They have tried as much as they can. They have established themselves. They've put up companies. We have people who are working as managers. I have a friend I met last time, actually, he's a Msoga from where I come from. And he's a manager of one of the biggest telecommunication companies there, Etisalat. He's a manager and he's earning very good money. We have doctors there who are working. We have nurses. We have engineers. So with these people there, what are we doing for them that is going to make them be a part of the association? Because usually, we as Ugandans, we know very well, we like coming together when we have issues. Now we are saying, let us come together, even if we don't have issues.
And at that point, let's go for a break. We'll return shortly.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800 100 066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
We bring you a fresh, well-researched program to help you identify opportunities for investment, job creation, growing your entrepreneurial skills, wealth creation, and social transformation.
We have a product that is ready for schools, supermarkets.
Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Every week we showcase opportunities for creating new products and services.
I now harvest a lot of cocoa. When I harvest it, I sell. After selling, I put money in my project. I have 2 projects. 1 is for construction of my house, 2 is for educating my children.
Excellence in innovation, the passion and drive to succeed, and the right mindset to grow your business. Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Brought to you by Operation Wealth Creation.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that short break. It is still Good Morning Uganda Extra. I'm Robert Chirapo Nyonyi, and in studios I have Zam Nabidio, who happens to be the female representative of the Association of Ugandans in the United Arab Emirates, with whom we are discussing a number of issues, but also more when it comes to the 6th annual Uganda UAE convention that is going to run on the 29th till the 30th, that is of October. Now, very interesting is the welfare of the people. But before, I just have one final question regarding welfare and the life in the UAE. Then I'll go back to this.
I swear it's not going to be the final one. You're going to end up asking me something else.
I just know.
Yes.
Zamzam, you've talked about how these people need help, how we should stop these people from going to, unless they are sure of what they're going to do, everything is well stipulated. But there's also this thing that many ladies, now that we have you here, that as long as you're a woman, as long as you're a woman, you're well carved and all this, go to Dubai, well, there's a red district, ladies of the night are so marketable, and you find, no, let me go to Dubai. So, is this real? Is it happening? Then if there's a solution to that, or are they the most clients actually your association is grappling with on how to get them back home?
Are you trying to ask about the prostitution?
Word well said.
All right, here's the thing. Before I go to that, let me tell you something. I'm among the people who are fighting so hard to make sure that people who are coming to UAE, or to any other country for that matter, come in the straight line. We know that Minister of Labour here is going to sign an MOU with UAE to make sure that people come when they are supposed to be there. Like at this point, a Ugandan is not allowed to work in UAE as a maid because we haven't signed that MOU yet. Until it is signed, a company here, any recruitment company here, I will use one that we are working with, let's say KHM of Swift, because these ones are coming for the conversion, so I can definitely talk about them, and I know they are among the registered companies here. So a company like Swift or a company like KHM can easily bring some, company like Diamond Rose, please don't kill me. These companies can easily get contracts in the UAE and bring in maids in a registered manner, in an official manner, after that MOU has been signed.
Like it is in Saudi Arabia.
Like it is in Saudi Arabia. Now, we don't have that MOU yet. Without that MOU, it means people are finding ways of coming. Now, my own is, let us make sure that they don't come. Because we have the means of doing that. Why would a 17-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old go through the Entebbe immigration without proper documentations of where they are going, what they are going to do there? Because if someone is telling you they are coming to visit Nabidi, at least you have a contact of Nabidi from this person, or Nabidi's Emirates ID. If we have these documents well documented with the immigration officers here, then that means if this girl is found on the streets of UAE, they know who to contact. It is Nabidi. Because if I sent this person an invitation letter, I attached my Emirates ID, I attached my visa copy, My contact number is there. And at the end of the day, this girl comes out to the embassy and tells the embassy officials that I'm stuck here, I want to go home, I don't know how to go home. They are going to look at this person and say, like, what is your name? Nakayenga. Nakayenga, yes. When did you come? I came to UAE on the 23rd of October. How did you come? Which visa did you use? I used a visit visa. Okay, so that means someone invited you. If someone invited you, now they can go back to the files. Oh, you were invited by Nabidi. We have Nabidi's Emirates ID here. It will definitely show you where I'm working. My visa copy will show you my company. It means you can trace me. Now, unless we give people responsibility, this thing is not going to end. Let us start it from here. Let the people have responsibility. We are in the UAE. We are crying with these people. There are so many. We are calling upon everyone to help us bring them. The first question is going to be, how did they get there? If we are not solving the how, then like you said, it is going to end up growing and growing and growing. It will never stop. Now the UAE says, okay, now let me make the visa program difficult for you. But we wouldn't have gotten there if only we were able to manage it from here. You're talking about the girls. We have girls, actually there are girls in the UAE, ladies, not even girls, women, who we are trying as much as possible to weed out. But it is not easy. We are just an association. We don't have the means of arresting some of these people. You don't just wake up in the morning and be like, this one has done this, you arrest her. It has to come in a procedure. These girls, some of them come knowing exactly what they are going to do. Others, like I said, because we don't love each other, get deceived. And the most annoying thing, the thing that kills me most, is that a woman, a mother, wakes up in the morning, lies to a girl of 20, tells her, you know what, you're going to come and do a waitress job. This one I'm telling you is a story that I faced personally. There is a girl whose names I'm going to withhold. She called me, she's an Ajman, tells me, Zam, I want to go home. I'm like, you want to go home? Okay, what is the problem? I don't have my passport, but my bosses will not give me my passport, so I ask her, which visa are you on? She tells me I'm on a visit visa. I tell her, okay, if you're on a visit visa, it's easy. We can easily file a lost passport report, and then we take you back home, but I need to hear your story first. She's like, just know, I cannot work with my bosses anymore, and if you can do anything, just make sure I can go home. I have my money, don't even think you're going to be the one to buy me the ticket. I have my money for the ticket, I just want you to help me get home. So then I called Mwamironi at the embassy. I told him, okay, I have this girl. Da, 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 da. It was the time of COVID, so they couldn't travel. I had to drive from Sharjah, where I stayed, to Abu Dhabi to get the emergency travel document for this lady. Then now, since she didn't have a passport and she was in overstay, we had to get her an outpass. Bakujake misango, they take your fingerprints and your eyes, so they scan your eyes so that you cannot come back into their country because okozo musango, ogwa overstay. Now this girl, I tell her, okay, we are going to take you to a will such that they can give you the access pass such that you can go home. You get the out pass. She's like, I cannot go. So I told her, why can't you go? She says, I cannot be in Dubai. I cannot be anywhere in Dubai. I cannot be seen anywhere. Now I was confused. Because if she's having a boss who is an employer, there is no way their employer is going to be all around in Dubai to see her. So I told her, okay, don't worry. I'll come pick you in the car, take you to this office, and then I'll drop you back. No one will see you. She says, if you're sure no one will see me, then it's okay. I went, picked her, took her to the office. We did everything, and we got her the out pass. So I booked her ticket for that very night. Because if you're going to get the fingerprints, you need to have a ticket. I booked in, and then when we got the out pass, I confirmed the ticket. Now at this point, while we were going, we were having a conversation, so I think she was getting used to me. She now starts talking. Zam, actually my boss is not like I've been working as a maid. I'm like, okay, what have you been doing and why are you so much afraid of your bosses? She's like, one lady brought me here. She told me I was going to do a waitress job. And then when I reached here, she took my passport and she showed me the street. She told me that's my job. So some of them do not do this because they want to do it. They are forced into doing it. And this Ugandan woman told this girl amubanja milioni 17 ze yamutambuliza. A ticket to UAE is million if it is too much. And the visa, if it is a 3 months visa, it was around 800 or 900, whatever it is that the agents are selling it. It doesn't go anywhere above 3 million.
Very touching stories. Now, that was said, we must go back to the association and the annual, the annual forum that is going to be happening. Now, all said, that explains actually why almost every Ugandan should support. People have a good cause, and there's so much on you. Now, for this particular convention, is it by invitation? People in Uganda, can we participate much as it's going to be there? You know, how is participation going to be done, or even attendance?
All right, sorry about that. I get a little bit emotional when talking about these things, but about the convention, at least let us talk about something good. Before I continue, I'm going to send thanks again to our sponsors. It will help me get back to normal. Uganda Export Promotions Board. We've been working with them throughout the expo, and MTN Momo. It's their first time they're working with us, and I'm hoping that we get an amazing working partnership with them, because what we are doing is for the good cause, like you said, and we'd love to partner with people who feel like someone's well-being is a part of them. So we are calling upon any other person there who feels like this is a good cause for them to come on and join us. It is last minute, because the event is just happening the next weekend, that is 29th and 30th of October, and we would like anyone who can be of support to us to come. Our events throughout the years, we've been working closely with the Speaker's office. Actually, Speaker Rebecca Kadaga, Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, Musoga Munangi from Kamuli, she's the one who launched. She's the one who opened the first convention, and we even cut the cake with her while opening the Association of Ugandans in the UAE. From there, we've had a number of speakers come. Even we had Honorable the late Jacob Bolanya, he was with us, and this year we invited the Right Honorable Annette Among, AAA. Yes, and usually they come with Parliament, the committees. Like I said, we've spoken to most of them about these issues, because we tend to meet them and we talk about these things even during the convention. Now, what it is about the convention, apart from the diaspora's well-being, we do a number of things. We talk about trade, we talk about investment, and then we also talk about tourism. When it comes to trade, we invite people here who are into trade and they would like to extend their businesses to the UAE to come and meet people from the other side. And what we always do is we identify the sectors. Now this time we are looking at real estate, we are looking at agribusiness and other sectors. Now, if someone is here and they are into agribusiness, and they are looking at a way of growing their market beyond Uganda, we tell them this is the right place for them to come, because you're going to have 2 days with people in the room, and then not just in the room, the last day actually what we do market visits. So if someone comes to me and they're like, for us we have fruits and vegetables, we go to the fruits and vegetables market. People who are into coffee, we take them. So what we do is just beyond the community. And then when we talk about investment, we've been working with Uganda Investment Authority throughout these conventions. And I can say that these conventions have brought in a number of investors in the UAE. Because like I told you earlier, these conventions, it's not only done by the association, but we work closely with the embassy. And now we have a consulate, so we work with the consulate as well. So we tend to bring in all the big fish within the UAE. They come to these conventions. So if someone could be here and they're looking for investors, some people have bankable projects, but they don't know how to go about with them, we are inviting them to come and be a part of this. And then we do tourism. Because, I mean, Uganda is the pearl of Africa. You know, who wouldn't love to come here? And there are months in the UAE where it is unlivable there. People, they don't want to be there. So they look for their vacation homes. Now we tell them, okay, if you're looking for a vacation home, which other home is there other than Uganda? So we are trying to push them such that every time they feel like they want to run away out of the summer, this can be their second home. And this is a drive that we've been pushing, and it is yielding results.
Very good.
Yes.
Now, how is attendance? So how do I get to be part of this? Because it's not in Uganda, it's definitely the
Yes, it is in the UAE. So we have partners. Okay. We have Uganda Export Promotions Board. We are working with them, and luckily enough, they were kind enough. Remember, we are not based here, so they were kind enough to give us an office at their station here in Nakasero on the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company building. So there, when you go there, you can register from there, and then people are so much used to the online thing now. So registration is on www.auucommunity.com. AUU is the Association of Ugandans in the UAE. Then we added on community.com. When you go there, you'll find all the registration forms. You can register from there, and we are charging very little money for those ones who are coming with our packages. If you're not exhibiting, you're paying $1,500 and then for those ones who are exhibiting, they're paying $2,000. And with these kind of packages, you get, it's a full package. You have the ticket, you have the visa, you have the accommodation, and everything all inclusive. And other than that, they can even reach out on 0783 92 86 78. I'll say that again, 0783 9286 78. When you call that number, you'll be talking directly to me, so please don't call now, I'm still here. Yes, they will be talking to me, and I can give them more information about that. Yeah, and like I said, this year our main purpose is the diaspora welfare. All these other three, we've always been doing them, we are continuing to do them, but we are calling upon people who have services that benefit the community. We need people here who are having services that benefit a Ugandan in the UAE. I mean, even if I have to take you on the last minute, I will do that. But as long as you have a service which is beneficial to a Ugandan in the UAE, people who are selling land, please come to Tasevana Fabari mu UAE. Because people are buying land and they end up buying fake land.
Very common.
They are lying to them. Someone constructs a house for the other with no cement at all. So we are calling people who are into engineering. If you know that your firm does very good engineering work. I mean, UAE has a number of 100,000 and more Ugandans there. This is a big market that everyone can tap in. We just want you to come. We are not like calling you, you're not doing us a favor. No, we are giving you the business. We are calling upon NSSF because, I mean, who doesn't want to save with them, you know? And then we are calling upon all the banks, those ones who have come in, thank you so much. We are having a number of banks, and housing finance is one of them as well. And we are also having they are different. There is housing finance, and then there is national housing.
Very
they are all coming with
looking
us.
at time, it's we really must end it here. But let me just have your concluding remark.
I would like to conclude by thanking the people that I work with, our president, Bastin Soboga, thank you so much for leading this association to the greater places that it has gone to. Secretary General Yusuf Chimera, thank you so much. Speaker, Cosmas, community leaders, members, if I don't mention you, please don't be offended, but I'll take to the commission, to the Emirates leaders. Big up to Mr. Musa Rasal Kaima, big up to Ismail of Abu Dhabi, big up to Ismail of Sharjah, big up to Douglas of Ajman, big up to Ndugwa Mustafa of Dubai. You guys, thank you so much. Winnie, Abu Dhabi, you're doing an amazing job, and I pray that, I mean, whatever it is you're praying for, may God give it to you, because what we are doing is not an easy task to do. And I'm calling upon our government, the government of Uganda, to come and support us in these things, because we are your people. And yes, we
well, you are people of the government of Uganda. Thank you so much for the good work. Thank you for actually giving Ugandans this information. Please take advantage of this opportunity. You never know when actually you make that major breakthrough. It could be in this sixth convention of Ugandans in the United Arab Emirates. Robert Chirabo, wishing you a lovely day. Take care. Ebola is with us. Be very careful. Let's follow the health guidelines that have been given to us. And above all, let's love our country. Let's love one another. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
I remember the lockdown.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800 100 066 or send